Part the Third, the War of 1812 and Naval Maturity. Tensions between the United States and Great Britain escalated steadily during the first decade of the 19th century. At the center of the dispute were issues tied directly to maritime power. Britain's orders in council restricted neutral trade with Napoleonic Europe, severely limiting American commerce. At the same time, the Royal Navy impressed thousands of sailors from American merchant ships, claiming many were British deserters. To Americans, this was a direct violation of sovereignty. Confrontations at sea became more frequent. Incidents like the attack on the USS Chesapeake convinced many that British policy had become openly hostile. By 1812, pressure for war grew strong enough that Congress formally declared war on June 18th of that year. Yet the naval balance appeared overwhelmingly unequal. The U.S. Navy had only 17 warships, while the Royal Navy maintained more than 1,000 vessels worldwide. Yet the early months produced stunning American victories. The most famous occurred on August 19, 1812, when USS Constitution encountered HMS Guerriere. British cannonballs reportedly bounced off the thick oak hull, prompting a sailor to shout that her sides were made of iron. From then on, she was Old Ironsides. The defeat of Guerriere demonstrated that American crews were capable of defeating British warships. News spread quickly, boosting morale during a war otherwise going poorly on land. Other frigates followed suit. These victories were not accidents. American frigates were generally larger, more heavily armed, and built with stronger hulls. Naval warfare was not limited to the ocean. Strategically vital engagements occurred on the Great Lakes, where control determined the movement of armies and supplies. On Lake Erie, Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry transferred his flag under fire and unleashed a barrage that forced the entire British squadron to surrender. With the lake secured, American forces retook Detroit. It was a rare moment in history where an entire British squadron was captured intact. Privateers also played an important role, capturing hundreds of merchant ships and forcing Britain to divert resources to convoy protection. Strategic success gradually shifted. By 1813, the Royal Navy reinforced its North American station and imposed a blockade along much of the coastline. By 1814, Britain's position strengthened after the defeat of Napoleon. Freed from the European War, they sent additional ships and troops to North America. Negotiations eventually produced the Treaty of Ghent in late 1814. Communication was slow and fighting continued for weeks before news reached the front. Peace did not end all conflict. In 1815, the U.S. launched a new campaign against the Barbary States to end attacks on American shipping. Between 1775 and 1815, the United States learned the necessity of naval power. A nation that once abandoned its navy had rediscovered its importance. The U.S. Navy emerged as a disciplined professional force. The foundation of modern American naval power had been laid.